Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today let's take a look at the 2026 Audi Q7. This is the 45. It also features the Convenience Plus package. It's finished off in a glacier white metallic. MSRP is just shy of $67,000. So we have a very nicely equipped model for this three-row SUV. And we'll start off with what this model is powered by, which is the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic, and it pumps out 261 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. It is all-wheel drive. It'll do 0 to 60 in just shy of 6 seconds. And as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking at 20 in the city and 26 out on the highway. Now for the 26-year model, there's not really too many significant changes for the exterior styling, aside from the convenience package, which I will show some of those options. So this is the latest Audi badge. There's a forward-facing camera, all of the parking sensors, and sensors for the distance pacing and all of that tech. You'll notice gloss black for the hexagonal surround. There's also more gloss black for the lower trim accent there. And there's LEDs for all of the lighting, which have a nice dark housing to flow nicely with the trim accents. And then there's 4 distinctive lines coming down the hood just to tie it in nicely. And this model also features the wipers or the washers for the headlights too, which is nice. Now, part of that Convenience Plus package is the 20-inch wheels, which have a nice two-tone design to them. There's also gloss black for the lower section of the door there, and then power folding side mirrors with a camera and a turn signal. You'll notice more gloss black for the window trim. It's on the roof racks, and then there's a full moonroof up top, and then really clean lines and crisp lines that flow down the side. Quattro is also stamped in that lower section of the door there, and then really nice body colored fender arches, both front and rear. Now there's a body colored spoiler with the third brake light. There's a wiper blade, LEDs for all the lighting, backup camera, all the parking sensors, and then when properly equipped, this model here can tow right around 4,400 pounds. Now you can use the button on the key fob or the release underneath to gain access to your cargo space. Now the Q7 is a 3-row SUV, and you'll notice with the split that I have, you have a good bit of space behind the third row. Now they are automatic, so you have those controls to raise and lower them. You get a little bit of storage, not too much storage underneath the floor, mainly some access to some of these components here. But as you can tell with the third row down, you have a lot more space where you can place items. So very versatile depending on what you have. And then with the controls up top, you can either close the liftgate or lock the vehicle. Now, if you do lock it, just grab any door handle to lock and unlock it. Now this model is also paired with the beige interior, which is a nice spec. It has Bang & Olufsen for the audio, there's storage there, you have your grab handle and some wood trim accents too. And then all 3 of these seats are individual. They move forwards and backwards. As you can tell, they recline too, and they fold flat. So you can lock them into place, fold the third row down, and have a lot more interior space. Now from here, you do have to push on this lever, and then you can lift the seat up to gain access to the third row. You can also fold the third row down by using these controls here, so you can do it from either side. Now at 5'10", I probably don't want to ride around in the third row. I could if I needed to. These seats can be moved a little bit farther forward. I have a cup holder there, some visibility there with that large window, and then some dome lights up top, but my head is basically touching the headliner. So you can put some small kids in the back, and this is a vehicle where you probably won't be using the third row all that often, but if you need to, it is there and usable for those situations. Now in the second row, you have a lot of leg space. There's also the storage nets, vents, temperature adjustments, and the controls down below for auxiliaries there. Now there's also the armrest where you have some more cup holders. And then, like I said, you can fold both of these seats down, you can move them out of the way. And I have about 2 inches or so of headroom. So obviously more comfortable in the second row. Now there's memory seating adjustments. The side mirrors are also heated. There's the window controls, liftgate release, and more storage down below. And then a really nice design for these seats. As we start this up, this has a leather wrapped steering wheel with really nice stitching. You have paddle shifters on both sides. There's a favorites button along with tuning and volume. You have your voice commands and Bluetooth. And then on the left side, you can go through the digital gauge cluster. So you have some arrows where you can go through all of this, even pull up the navigation. And if you push on view, now you can bring this up in full screen. So that way you can still go through all this information, just in a little bit larger of a view, of course. And then when you're ready, you can bring the tach and miles per hour back up. Now there's also the stock for cruise control. You get plenty of storage in this lower left, along with some wood trim accents, your headlight controls. There's also one air vent, and then there's a strip of air vents going from the center to the passenger there. And with the infotainment system, you have quite a lot that you can go through. So there are a lot of apps here that you can get into as needed, just depending on what you'd like to do. And you have shortcuts on this left side, so you can quickly get through the rest of that info. Now, in between the screens, but technically in the lower one, you have engine start stop, a downhill assist. There's some favorites that you can set up. There's a heated steering wheel, and you can turn this upper screen off and just tap anywhere to turn it back on. Now, the lower screen is going to have all of your climates, along with heated seats, fan speed, temperature, where you'd like the air to go. You can also get into your rear climates and the heated steering wheel too. Now below that, you have some shortcuts to drive select, so that way you can get through the different driving modes that are available. And then there's traction control, some defrosters, you have volume for your audio. There's also a shortcut for your driver assistance, so you can customize that. And then you can also pull up the camera system, where this has the 3D view. So you have no shortage of visibility issues with all of these angles, and you can also pull up the 3D angle. So you can just swipe around the vehicle to look for any blind spots. Now there's cup holders behind that, and then when you put this into reverse, you get the camera system, of course. You can put it into drive and then push it to the right, so you can shift here or with the paddle shifters. And then park's located on the back. Now there's the e-brake. You do have an adjustment for your armrest here, and then when you open it up, you have a little bit of storage and auxiliaries and storage in the back. There's a locking glove box, more wood trim accents. You get garage door buttons up top, touch sensitive dome lights, and controls for both that sunshade and sunroof. And then here's a look at visibility, where it's pretty easy to see over both shoulders. So you have a lot of glass for this 3-row SUV. And we're still in dynamic second gear. Here we go. And again, just a minor acceleration. And this definitely has a lot more get up and go to it, which is nice to see. And again, the paddles are very responsive. They're in a good spot there too, so if and when you'd like to use them, you have them available. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the latest Q7. And it's very nice. You have a lot of different ways you can spec it, as I mentioned. So we don't have too many options for this particular model, but I think it's very nicely equipped for its pricing. For the mid $60,000 range for a 3-row SUV is not bad in today's market. For the tech features that you get and just the quality and the luxury feel that you can have with this Audi model. And hopefully you can tell it's pretty quiet too, so the traffic noise isn't unusual or anything like that. And if you just need maybe some extra interior space with that 3rd row down, it gives you a lot. But of course you can place in people as needed. And we'll have to wait and see if there's going to be another update for this model. Audi recently refreshed it, so we'll probably have to wait quite a while to see maybe that large curved screen they've put in some of their other 26 models. I really like the dual screen here. I think it works well for the amount of information that you have and the separation there, which is very nice. And then real quick, in terms of doing a UE here, being a 3-row, it's still very maneuverable and easy to drive. So we don't even have to back up and turn around there, which is nice. So again, not a jumbo 3-row, but it will get the job done. And that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Audi Q7. Once again, a huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads, and I'll see you all in the next video.